Hello, and welcome back to Financial Fix with Charnella. Today you will be viewing pictures of a home in Warren, Michigan. The pictures represent how the house used to look. In my opinion, it was a hoarder's home. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. And it was hard to walk through the property. It was hard to really see much of anything. But the bones of the property were pretty good. So even though a home may be full of stuff, maybe full of junk, and sometimes maybe full of mold, a lot of bad stuff, but when you look at the bones of the property, and when I say the bones, that when you look in the basement, if there's no serious cracks in the walls, if everything is intact, there's no water stains on the wall, that's a beautiful home. You look at the foundation of the home. If the foundation of the home is great, then it's good. You look at the floors. Are any of the floors like leaning, or are they pretty much straight? They could be a little bit, they can be damaged, some, but you don't want a huge amount of damage. So again, in this property, there's just a lot of stuff, but the home can be rehabilitated very nicely. So I loaned this investor $35,000 to make repairs. So as you finish watching the pictures as they come through, we're going to move into the video. We are at another property that Phil owns, and I provided the construction funds to rehab this property as well. So let's go on in and take a look. Okay, wow. Okay, last time we were here, we didn't have the kitchen done. Oh, we don't have the light here. Let's see where the lights are. Oh, this might be the, there we are. There's a light. Looks like we've got to get another light in here. I'm not sure where it is. But do you remember Sunset? We were here at Sunset before when they first started the construction, and the house was just a terrible mess. So they've definitely done a lot of work here. Updated the kitchen and did the flooring. We've got the fireplace here in the living room. It's pretty nice. Do we have any of the lights? Okay, so here's Phil. This is another property, like I said, that I provided private money funds for to do the rehab. Since the last time we were here, unfortunately, I started recording prior to giving funding on this property, but it's almost done. So let's hear what you've done to the property so far.
Yeah, so basically all the interior, and we'll walk through it in a sec here. You see the interior is basically completely done. So like I said, we'll do a quick walkthrough. Can I be real?
Yeah.
All right, so actually we just pulled up to the property, and you guys might saw just on the phone. So some of the exterior stuff was not done. I was out for the past couple of weeks, and it's minor stuff, but it's like stuff that when a buyer pulls up to a property, it's not gonna make them like, oh wow, I'm gonna go just jump into this house. Now the inside, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. We'll finish walking through it, but so things like that happen. So that's why you do have to be on top of who you're working with, and you need to make sure. And Charnella knows all about that, right? So that's again just another added benefit when you got somebody that knows what they're doing. But let's take a quick look. So I mean, you got before pictures? Well, maybe we'll do some before pictures.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hadn't started the process when we first came here, because I remember the house was in a mess.
Yeah.
And so I walk in here and I'm like, yeah, I can definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
But
So we'll see if we can find some, and we'll send it to you that way. You kind of maybe put some screenshots.
Yeah, definitely.
But so basically, we come through here. So all new flooring. It's basically, so at the end of the day, so the model I like to have is we're looking at, like, obviously the comps in the area, and we're basically looking at the price point of what buyers are willing to pay and giving them what we've seen them. We're basically providing exactly what the market is showing based off the price point what we want. So for example, if we want just a random number, 200,000 for a property, we're going to look at other properties selling for 200,000, and if we want to get 200,000, we're going to say, okay, it has this type of flooring, it has this type of countertops, is these type of fixtures, etc. And that's how we go about doing that. If we want to push them, that's not our model, but if we want to push it, some people have that where they're going to do luxury everything, and they're going to go well above what you see there. We don't typically follow that model because there's some additional risk involved. But anyway, Charnella knows all about this.
And usually the higher end properties is where you'll push the limits on that because there's more room to do that.
So what you can see here, this is an entry level home. So I forget the type of countertops he put in this one, but as you can see, basically everything is like fresh and clean. That's what we're going for, right? It's not, perfect, but it's like it's fresh and clean where somebody can come in and say, you know what, I can see myself living here, I can see myself cooking in this kitchen, etc. and so forth.
I really like the backsplash. I really, to me, I really like it. It really makes the kitchen kind of, come alive.
Exactly. Now let's keep going. So you got the fireplace there, and then we're gonna come over to that couple of bags. So hit all the light switches here real quick.
Okay.
This one's out.
And again, this is more or less a starter home. So we're not putting, fixtures that are top of the line in the property, but they're enough such that the people here within their price point can afford them.
Yep. So this is actually one bedroom. You see his radiator heat. The bars in the window was already here when we got it. We just chose to leave them on. I don't know if a buyer will think, it doesn't look the greatest from a buyer perspective, but from a security perspective, we just left them on there. They can be removed at any time. Got a closet here, another bedroom, and then there's one, we'll go upstairs. Now this light flickered on and it flickered off, so I don't know how much you can see, but essentially the same setup as the other room. And then we'll get ready to go upstairs.
Okay.
Oh man, it does get warm up here.
Yeah, bungalows. In the summer, bungalows are pretty warm.
So as soon as you feel through, so.
Oh, you know what? The window was open too.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
So a couple of different things here. So I'm not exactly sure what this room was, but this is like one big room up here. I don't know. I wouldn't really call it a bedroom. Technically, this is a closet.
Someone could turn it into a game room.
Yeah.
They could turn it into an office space. Anything that, they want some residual space, or it could be storage. It's any number of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's go to the other room here. Now, the good thing about this property, so it's actually live right now, and we've gotten some offers on it already.
Okay.
So we're just kind of fielding through that, whether it's FHA or whether it's FHA or whether it's conventional. So looking to get this one squared away. Things do happen. I'm just being real here as I'm walking through the property. Like I said, I was out the past couple of weeks. This one just went up a couple of weeks ago, and there's some things here. I know I told certain people to take care of that. We'll have a conversation after. You know what I mean? So we'll get it squared away because at the end of the day, I have to be that responsible person because that and we'll maybe look at the outside, etc. These are things that when a buyer pulls up, it's a feeling. It's not necessarily okay that this is great, this is great, this is this is that. It's more so the feeling, and you want them to have that feeling, especially if it's a family. The wife, the kids in the bathroom, you gotta have it on point, right? It's go a lot easier. So.
Yeah, and to be clear, I've been a realtor for 10 years, and I was a buyer's agent for majority of that time. So I've worked with, a lot of buyers, so I know what they're looking for. But more than that, I've also fixed and flipped several properties myself. So I've been in his position, and I understand how it is working with contractors. So you really have to stay on them. You'll give them a job, and if you don't stay on them and you're off and you're not paying attention, they won't always do what it is that they need to do in a timely manner. So it's a process. So I'm very patient because, again, I've been a realtor, so I know what buyers want. I've fixed and flipped homes, and now I'm on the private money lending side. And I really love the private money lending side because I get to do far less work than he does.
Right. I'm sweating just thinking about it.
Okay. Let's take a look outside. Okay, here we are outside. Let's see what you're gonna do outside, Phil.
Okay, so right now as I'm looking through this, so like this fence right here, like the way it leans, like it's probably better to just take these off, just from a perception perspective.
Yeah.
Like it just looks like it's
Yeah.
again. So So we'll take care of that. We got some additional cleanup, it looks like, needed, just to kind of have it give it a brush, a clean swept type look. It was a lot more than this, so again,
Yeah,
I'm not just trying to talk bad on the contractor, but it was a whole lot more than this just recently, so they did get a lot of it out.
Yeah.
But it's again, when you're not on top of them, like I've been out the last couple of weeks, and maybe they knew that, and it's kind of like some of these things should have been squared away. Because it's just, you want somebody there to come through and say, okay, I can live here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so we'll get this stuff cleaned up. The biggest thing about the backyard is like it's huge. You got neighbors having a good time there. If you look back, straight back there,
Oh,
like
wow.
it's a huge backyard, right?
It
So you
is.
got a lot of room. So you have kids. So at the end of the day, you're thinking about who's going to be behind the place, right? And this is going to be for family. They have kids, they come through, and they can go out in the backyard and just have a good time. Maybe you put a swing set back there. Maybe you have family come over, and so forth and so on. Other than that, I said we got to get the garage door changed again. This is actually kind of not to maybe a little bit feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do want to point out about it, at a certain price point, so if this was like a $300,000 house or a $400,000 house, like that's like a much bigger deal, right? Because they're expecting more. And this price, like I said, we're getting offers on the property because people are like, all right, I'm not expecting the house to be perfect. I just want a good house, a clean house, and something I can start with and move forward. Now we do want to put our best foot forward, so obviously there's room to grow there as well. But at the end of the day, whether well, specifically when you're flipping a house, right? You just got to know the price point that you're working with. And on the private lending side of it, I mean, obviously you just want to understand that the property's going to be sold, and you're putting yourself in the best position.
Exactly.
I don't know if you got anything you want to add to that.
So the longer it takes to finish a project, the more interest he pays. So I'm not necessarily upset that it may take a month or two longer, but at the same time, he might be thinking, I really want to get her paid off because I'm just constantly, racking up the bill there.
So that is a good point. So this is like not completely passive, but almost completely passive. When you get to that point where it's like, hey, I'm just like, you do all the work, you got everything. She does her work on the front end. I look at the deal, I make sure I like the numbers, and
I just follow up every now and then. And to me, this isn't work because I love looking at properties. I love taking something ugly or that's messy and turning it into something that's beautiful that a family can, turn around and make their home.
100%.
Yeah, I definitely love it. So yeah, this is great. Thank you Phil for letting us come out.
Sure.
There is one more property, but I think Phil, you have to get back home. So yeah. So we're gonna go take a look at Martin on our own.
Okay.
And if you can just text me the lockbox, then we'll go ahead and take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay. For all of you viewers, you may hear the noise next door. They have a huge backyard just like this one. So they're enjoying their backyard. So this is a great example of why people with families like to have big yards. So they can have lots of parties. This is the finished basement for Sunset. As you can see, they painted the ceilings black. The walls are painted, the floors are painted. Everything is cleaned up. All the junk has been removed from the house. What buyers are looking for is a nice clean basement. Nice glass block windows are a nice addition as well. If you've enjoyed watching my content, then please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Financial Fix with Sharnella, and I'll see you on the next video. Again, thank you for watching.